Alright everybody, here we are, and let's simply continue from here on. And as for this thing, let me stop sharing. But before even that, let me check whether I'm audible or not. So the status of the live, coming back here. Alright, then here we are, and I hope everything's clear right now. And hopefully once everything's done, then I will just simply continue. Okay, so what I was busy doing earlier is this. First of all, with the help of the AI, I was just simply formatting everything. So whatever I've written so far, whatever logic I've been working on, I just simply dumped everything to the AI, and then AI just formatted it, even customized it in a better way. So ultimately rewritten the code, and then we are here. By the way, apart from this particular section, we are of course going to have many things here, but the important thing that we need to have, these are the icons, right? Okay, once I have the icons over here, camera off, camera on, and some other icons I'm gonna be having over here. Few of them are not even being used, so okay, never mind. This phone related means what? Camera off, camera on, mic on, monitor and phone. I'm not even sure when they are gonna be used. When it comes to this particular monitor, so where is this being used? Control F. It's being used 2 times, and this is being used screen share. So whenever I'm sharing the screen, at that time monitor is going to be shown here, and that's obviously it should be just go on only like this. It should be going on like this. And apart from these options, remaining options are gonna be added later. And now let's see if there's something missing or not. So coming back to this, it actually starts from here. So ultimately everything starts from here, and inside page.tsx, first of all, dispatch, router, and meeting ID and all, everything's clear. And one more thing before I actually get anything else done here, almost front end part is done. So if I talk about this particular section, chat container, there's nothing. Media container, I have already formatted it. This one is already done. And apart from this particular thing, when it comes to this slice, so this is the slice. So let me give it this slice, and I don't really think that it can find something to make better in the slice. So slice section is already done, so that should not be a problematic thing. But let's see if there can be something that can be improved. So let's simply click on this, and I think if the chat gets long enough, then of course it starts taking time to just simply response and all. But almost this is fine. Problem with the create implementation, so easy to accidentally overwrite state. So what is the issue with this? This works, but for real WebRTC app, this reducer is generic and will cause bugs later. Right now you are doing set meetings and state action, and I'm getting the previous state. Once I got the previous state, I'm just simply adding the new action. This looks convenient, but it's dangerous. Let me explain and then give you a production save. Okay, fine. Then dispatch, set meeting, other participants. So if you accidentally pass wrong shape in the sense set meeting, something like that, you break the entire state silently. So no type safety for updates. You accidentally do dispatch this, and this TypeScript may not fully protect depending on typing. Hard to maintain state when app grows, app host controls, app raised hands, add screen sharing, add recording state. This generic merge becomes messy. So production ready version, instead of 1 mega reducer, define clear actions in the sense I will have reducers here. When it comes to the register, set meeting info, this is mainly going to be used for meeting info. Open join model, set participants. So ultimately it is actually asking me to create many of them just at the same time. So set meeting info, open joining model, and let's copy it as it has suggested. So let's go with this too as well. As I use this, so I will have to change many things, but why not? If there can be something better, so I'm gonna be going with that. So Control V, and it has actually changed many things right here. And what it is actually saying, earlier I had only one action, and right now I have created many actions, more than once ultimately. They are gonna be used for different things. So set basic meeting info. So when it comes to this, so set meeting info action. In the action, this is gonna be the payload action, and I will be getting the meeting ID and the name. So this will be used for that. So set meeting info, that's fine. Apart from this particular thing, there is something called open join model. So inside this, I will be getting a payload that will be the meeting participant, and that will be added to the joining participant and all. So that's fine. Set open model true and all. Okay, that's fine too. Close join model, this will become false and this will become null. And participant management, set participant action payload. When it comes to the participant, set participants, there can be more than one participants. In that case, set other participants, set state other participants, and action payload. Whatever I get inside the payload, I will be just simply passing here. And lastly, add participant, one participant is gonna be added. So exists state other participants, and I will first of all check whether that particular participant actually exists or not. If that exists, if that does not exist, then simply push it. And lastly, remove participant. So I will be just sending that particular participant, and then we can remove it. Permission denied, set permission denied, and action.payload, and that payload will actually contain some boolean value. So permission denied, that can be actually true or false, that's fine. And lastly, I have reset meeting state. So reset meeting state, that means it will have the initial state. So initial state, it will actually return from here, and whatever returns, that becomes the main state. And at the end of the day, initial meeting state is what? Initial meeting state is this. So this is gonna be the initial meeting state in that case. As I have changed this much, that simply means I'm gonna be needed to change many other things too. And similarly, let me do one thing. As this much is done, it's kind of easy to read. Earlier I had only one action, right now I have many. Same thing is gonna be happening with this one as well. Media state, here as well I'm gonna be needing many ones at the same time. So let's even do this too. Hopefully I won't have to create many actions, because if I have to, ultimately I will have to format the whole code, and that's gonna be actually good thing. Even if I'm formatting the whole code, ultimately I'm learning the best way to just simply structure the things. And the best way in the sense, one action should be handling only one job. It's not like one action actually that is actually handling everything, and that's the same thing I've been doing so far. Okay, by the way, same situation here as your previous slice. It works, but it's too generic and not a future safe for real meeting app. So it works. I have only one action. That action is used for saving all the states, and that is not really a good thing. And that is why it's better to just simply create lots of actions. Okay, let's even see what's special here in this particular action. So what am I actually doing? Earlier I just had only one, and right now I'm gonna be creating many. So by the way, there's a mic on, camera on, screen share. Right now only this much is here. Initial states, for mic on, set mic state, that can be true, of course, boolean. And then camera, set a camera state, and then screen, set screen state. And when it comes to the state, so that can be actually boolean. So these values can be true or false depending on the state. And then at the end I'm just simply resetting as well. So kind of good stuff. It's not the worst thing actually. So ultimately this way things are being managed the right way. And let me do one thing. Control D. Let's just simply select all of them and delete them. So this is how they won't be taking a lot of space. Gonna be a bit better. This one is for mic, camera, screen share, and reset media state. So this is how it is going on. Similarly, when it comes to this, so let me select all of them. Okay, music is being played around me, so I hope that will not be problematic. But I'm gonna be just selecting all of them at the same time, just like this. Once all of them are selected, let's simply delete them, and it's actually gonna be somewhat like this, not somewhat like this. As this much is done, then that's it. And after that I'm gonna be formatting them manually. And I think I'll have to just simply stop I'll have to mute myself because music is being played around me. But let's see. Hopefully I will not have to do that. I'll actually have to do that. Anyway, I'm gonna be just muting myself right now. You can just simply see whatever I'm doing because this music is gonna be problematic for me. Whatever I'm doing because this music is gonna be problematic for me. Yeah, definitely it's gonna be problematic. So sorry for that. I'm actually gonna be muting, and you can just see the in action. See the things happening here. And as soon as it stops, I will start speaking again. Alright everybody, finally I can speak because the song has been stopped playing, so we can just simply continue from here on. So I just gave my backend code to AI, and it actually formatted it quite well. So I got some of the new things, so I've been just simply digging deeper into them, exactly what they do and how they're just working here and all. So that's what I've been just busy doing right here. And as for this thing, if I actually want to, let's turn it off. I want to use my camera, I want to turn it on. And for this thing, okay, this is fine, but there's a problem. Let me do one thing. Give me a moment. This should be fine right now. Let's continue, and let me turn the camera on. And I hope, yeah, this is fine. Let me just simply click on OK, and right now it should be fine. And what I was just simply saying that I gave my backend code to the AI, and it just simply kind of made it better, I can say. And let's simply have a look at that code that's been just pre-written by the AI and all. And as for this camera, I can have it something like this. Okay, so I was here, and first of all, this socket.join, it simply kind of puts the socket into a room named meeting ID. So what socket.join actually does, when you call socket.join meeting ID, you are telling socket IO put this socket into a room named meeting ID. So a room is just a logical grouping of sockets on the server. Okay, it only groups the sockets internally on the server. Why rooms are important? Let's say meeting A 5 users, meeting B 3 users. Without rooms, socket broadcast emitter user joined, so all 8 users will receive it. That's wrong, and in that way I will have to send it to all the users specifically. And when it comes to this with rooms, what will happen? Now you can do socket to meeting ID, and it will emit event, so only users in that meeting receive it. That's amazing. So what happens internally when you call join this? So socket stores internally room ABC and all the sockets connected to that. It's just a mapping. How it works with your code, whenever you just join, you can now safely emit to that meeting, so send everyone except that sender. So socket.to, of course this socket excludes the particular sender, so socket send that particular event, emit the event to this particular meeting, so send to everyone including the user. Of course I will have to use IO over there, and is send to a specific user, so io.to socket emit. So it's kind of the same. No, io.meeting ID sends to everyone, socket sends to everyone except the user. And when it comes to sending to a specific user, at that time io.to and the socket ID. That's fine. This is perfectly for meetings, because the meetings are in turn literally rooms. Each meeting becomes socket. Yeah, that's right. So it's not even bad. What bad? It is the best thing actually in your meeting flow. Alrighty, so this is how the things have been going on. So first of all, it made this particular part better. Right now I have meetings, and inside these meetings I can actually have many meetings. So let me even make it better. Type meetings is actually gonna be having this record type. So let me cut this section from here, not this much, rather the whole section, so that it actually becomes readable. And I'm just gonna be assigning meeting type here, meetings, just like this. So this is how it's gonna be going on. So at the end of the day, this meeting actually is a record, and the keys are gonna be strings, and the value gonna be containing two things inside this. The value will contain the host and as well as the participants, and the host can be only one at a time. And yeah, okay, if there is only one host, that's the most obvious thing. So host can be only one at a time. And when it comes to the participants, so participants can be many, so that is just gonna be an array. So this is how the things are gonna be going on, and this meeting just simply contains that. And whenever this create connection gets called, so first of all the client connection gets established, and as soon as the connection gets established, of course I'm on the server side, so socket connection connected to this particular socket ID, I'm gonna be getting this message. And then this particular event will trigger here from the client side. So I will be getting my name and meeting ID from the client side, and here I'm just simply checking whether the meeting actually exists or not. Earlier what I was doing, I had two arrays, and right now things are even better. And That is why I took the help of AI. When you are actually taking, so you can actually format the things better, you can write the code better, and then you can learn from there. And that's what I'm doing here. And as for creating this video clone on my own, of course I will be getting that part done as well. And I hope my voice is clear right now. Let me, no, it's not clear, or it is clear. Let me check this thing. My voice is clear right now. Okay, it is clear. Okay, so let's continue. So what I'm doing here, meetings, it is just an array, object, and this object contains the IDs, keys, and those keys will have their values. So the key is actually gonna be string, and the value is gonna be containing the host and participant, and that's what I'm checking over here. If meetings, meeting ID, so whatever meeting ID I'm getting, I'm just simply checking whether that is already there or not. So if it already exists or not. If it does not exist, in that case I will be creating that meeting, because of course a new user is trying to join that particular meeting. So at that time, meeting ID, so inside meetings, there's gonna be ID of a meeting, and that particular ID ultimately will contain this value. So there's gonna be host, that's gonna be null, and participants are gonna be empty, because this is kind of one of the first users who's trying to join, and as this is the first user who is trying to join, so at that time host is gonna be null, participant is gonna be empty, and now it's time to add that particular user here. So once I got the meeting from the meetings, because here that got created, if that already exists, that's great, I will get it directly. So that particular meeting I will get directly, and if that does not exist, I've already created it, so ultimately I will get the meeting here. Once I got the meeting here, there are a few things. First of all, I will have to add the participant, a new participant. So I add the name of the participant, meeting ID, connection ID, socket.id, and is host. By default, the participant that I'm actually adding, that's gonna be not host, so ultimately is host value is actually going to be false. And after that, socket.join meeting ID. So whichever user I have, that user has the socket ID, so ultimately that user has a socket connection. So that particular socket connection will be added to this particular meeting ID. So socket.join.meeting ID means this particular socket needs to be joining this needs to join a room, and that room's name is that room will be addressed using this meeting ID. So kind of room's name is meeting ID, and ultimately socket is joining that particular meeting ID, so that in future you can just simply emit some events to this particular meeting ID, and whoever is connected to this meeting ID, only that event will be broadcasted to those people only. So it is like it is just simply grouping your sockets internally, and later when the sockets are actually grouped, so if you using this meeting ID, you can find all the grouped sockets, and over there you can just simply emit the messages and all. So this is what actually happens over here. Apart from this particular thing, I'm just simply gonna be checking the host for the meeting. First of all, what we did over here, we checked whether the meeting existed or not. If the meeting existed, that's great, I will get the meeting here directly. If it did not exist, in that case I'm gonna be creating it, and the value of the host and participants, of course, they are gonna be kind of empty or null. And after that, the new participant I created, and after that I just even joined that socket to using a meeting ID. And lastly, I'm checking the meeting that I have, this particular meeting that I got. So I'm just simply checking whether this meeting has a host or not. So meeting dot host, if it does not have any host, in that case new participant that I have, that will actually become the host. And once that actually becomes the host, and meeting host a new participant, just a sec, host is actually going to be containing the kind of an object. So the value of host is actually an object. So let me have a look over here. So yeah, host is actually an object. It can be null or it can be object, and participants can be multiple participants. So over here, first of all, that particular person becomes a host, that the value becomes true, and that becomes the host. And after that, I'm gonna be pushing that participant to the participant section as well, and I will return from here. And if that is the second user who's actually trying to join, so this value will actually become false, because host is already going to exist there. And as the host exists, in that case I'm just simply gonna be emitting this message to everybody. So io.meeting host connection ID. So this particular event will be emitted to just to the host of the meeting, and that is request to join meeting, and I'm just sending the information of the new participant, and that is it. And this is how it's gonna be going on. So kind of yeah, when I wrote the code, it was quite messy, and this time the code is quite in a formatted manner, and that's great. And by the way, a client will just simply emit this request, grant permission. This will ultimately host will be just simply emitting this, and I will be listening to this particular event. And there are going to be two things: permission granted and user information. User information in the sense that's actually going to be participant. So control D D. Actually I'm doing many things here, that's crazy, but okay. This should be fine. And this is actually gonna be participant, just like this. And let's see. So what am I doing? First of all, this permission granted can either be true or false. So first of all, I will check the meeting. So meetings, I will get the participant. So participants meeting ID. So the participant that I got, first of all I will check whether the meeting actually exists or not for that particular participant. Simply means whoever user is actually trying to join, if that user has already joined one of the rooms, so because participant will definitely contain the meeting ID, right? Is that so? Yeah. So participant will contain the information of the meeting, whichever meeting that person wants to join. So whenever I got the request over here, so this new participants of course had the meeting ID in it, saved in itself in the object. So that same meeting ID I will be getting here. And if the new participant has the meeting ID and I got any meeting, in that case I will be returning from here, in the sense that user already exists there, and I mean that user is already part of the room. And as that is already part of the room, it simply means if you join the meeting once, the second time you will already be the part of the room. That simply means when you join, at that time you should be directly joining rather than just simply sending a request here and all. Even put it simply, suppose you join the meeting once, and the next time when you try to join the meeting, at that time you will become the new participant, and when you become the new participant, request will go there, and as the request goes there, host will have to allow you again. But yeah, kind of it does the same thing. This is just the extra thing that I'm doing, so kind of extra validation that I'm making. I'm going to grant the permission, but first of all check whether that is already the part of the meeting or not. If that is not part of a meeting, then that's okay, continue from here on. And if not permission granted, then deny join permission. This is gonna be event that will be triggered, and of course I'm gonna be returning from here. And I'm using IO over here because host, why am I using IO here? IO simply includes you, so that simply means if you want to send emit any event to including yourself, at that time you use IO. And ultimately deny join permission, this event is mainly going to be for whom? This event is going to be for the connected participant, and as that is the connected participant, so I'm just simply using IO over here. I could have used the socket here too, and it kind of works. So okay, let's go on. And apart from the, mostly IO is used whenever we are just simply emitting any event, so I think that's kind of the most used ones. So when listening I'm using socket, when emitting the event I'm using IO directly, because IO includes you as well. So kind of using IO you can send the events to a particular, almost any specific user, and that is why that is used. So this particular thing is done, and deny request, I mean deny event will be triggered from here, and of course I'm not really sending anything and all. That's kind of okay. Or maybe when I just send this deny, so I have to disconnect the user, and once the user is actually disconnected, I have to even remove the user. So in that case I will have to send maybe I may need to send some information here. To do may need to send some data from here, because at least I will have to send the user user ID from here. User ID in the sense meeting, not meeting ID, that's gonna be connection ID. And probably I will have to send the user information here so that I can remove it from the front end side, but let's see what's gonna be happening later. And apart from this particular thing, let's have it at the top, Control D, somewhere here. And then once everything is clear, then I'm gonna be adding that participants. So meeting participants, I'm gonna be pushing the new participants that I have. Once that is done, and once the participant is actually pushed, after that I will be letting the users know. So participant meeting ID, and first of all what am I doing? Using socket inform others about new participant. Informing others in the sense as soon as the new user joins, and this is the grant permission, that simply means this will come to the host. So participant meeting ID, at that time I'm informing others. Host is also going inform existing participants. Just a minute. When you send a socket.to, that simply means it excludes you. Excludes in the sense if I'm on the host side, so host is not going to be notified. Let's see whether host actually gets notified about this as or not. So check this thing out too. Check this out later. Okay, apart from this particular thing, inform new participant about others. When I'm actually informing new participants in the sense the person who actually joined the meeting right now, and this is the grant permission in the sense host can actually allow or deny, and after that grant permission, where will it be? Once the host actually allows it or denies it, so host will send the message to the backend. So this is gonna be the socket of the host, so yeah, obviously. And when I'm actually informing others, so I'm using 2 over here, so inform new participant. So in that case, who is the new participant? The new user. So if I'm actually using IO participants connected, emit inform new participant about others. So these 2 things I have to just simply check this out later. And the thing is that I have formatted the whole code, and because of that thing, of course I'll have to just simply correct everything again. But apart from this particular thing, when it comes to the other participants, so meeting participants, I'm getting meeting first of all, the current meeting that I have, and that is right. Once I got my meeting, just a sec. If the meeting does not exist, then I will be returning. If the meeting exists, that simply means person can join, and if the person can join, so I will be getting this meeting over here. So meeting participants filter, whom do I have to filter? At this time I have to filter the current user, so that's gonna be participant ID, connection ID, if that's not equals to participant or connection ID. So inform new participant about others. Who is the new participant? The new participant who's actually joining the meeting. In that case, that participant will not be notified and the others are gonna be notified. That kinds of makes sense. So this thing is also done, at least quite done. And there is something called disconnector. So when it comes to disconnect, so disconnect connector, this particular user is going to be disconnected. Object keys meetings, from here I will be getting the keys in the sense all the meeting IDs I will be getting. Once I got the meeting IDs using for loop, I will get the one meeting ID at a time. After that, if this disconnection happens, that simply means a user left. And after that, meeting ID, so I got that particular meeting from the user actually left. And when it comes to the meetings, I will be getting the meeting ID, right? And once I got the meeting ID, so there may be many meetings, and when a user leaves, the user actually leaves from one of the meetings. So first of all, I'm getting the meeting. Now I have to check whether the user is actually part of that meeting or not. So index meeting, I'm getting meeting participants, and find index, I'm gonna be finding the index using socket. So I'm gonna be getting connection IDs, and if that's triple equals to socket, what does this mean? Meeting is possibly undefined. That's great. So I will even just add one more thing. So if there is no meeting, so not meeting, in that case I will just simply return from here. So this should be fine, just like this. Apart from this particular thing, I will try to get the index of the user, and if the index is actually -1, I will return from here, because if the index is equals to -1, that simply means the user does not belong to this particular meeting, as simple as that. And if that is not equals to -1, that means user belongs to this particular meeting. Then disconnected, again the code can actually be written in 1000 ways but this is what the code I got from AI. Even the code that I wrote previously, that was even working, but it's all about how well your code is written, and so it's good to just write it this way too. So disconnected user meeting participants index, so using that particular index I will get the disconnected user. Once I got the disconnected user, after meeting participants splice, the user is going to be spliced, that's fine. So this much is done as well. After that, if host left, assign new host. This is gonna be really an important part over here. If host left the meeting, so I first of all spliced it, and as soon as I spliced it, now I'm gonna be checking whether the host actually exists or not. So meeting host, if that is present, meeting host connection ID, if that's triple equals to socket ID. Socket is ID in the sense the user who actually left right now. So even here, meeting participants and splice, I'm already removing it. That simply means even if that were a host, that would have been removed, as simple as that. By the way, what am I trying to do? I just removed it from the participants array. I did not remove it from the host side. Yeah. So if meeting host connection ID, that's actually equals to socket ID, that simply means meeting host is gonna be a new participant. And what is the issue here? Meeting participants on null or undefined is not assignable to meeting participant on null. So ultimately, the thing is that the value of this actually can be undefined, and because of that thing, it is just simply throwing the error. And meeting host, it's not really gonna work in this way. So meeting host, the host value can actually be null, but meeting participants dot length, if that is greater than 0, that means there is still a user, then meeting participants and 0th index, so that's fine. What is the problem? So if that is greater than ultimately, if a meeting participants length is greater than 0, that simply means there is at least a user, and that particular user is gonna be the host. And once I assign the host over here, and after that meeting dot host, I will get the host, and I will make it meeting host is host, that's actually gonna be true, and that's it, done. Lastly, once host has been decided, after that I'm gonna be informing others about disconnected participant, and at that time I'm using socket. Why? Socket does not include you in the sense because a user left, you will be getting the message, so ultimately you are the one who is the whenever a user leaves, this is the kind of signaling server of that particular user. So socket excludes that particular user, that is fine, and that simply means if I just simply emit the message to the meeting ID, so this will be sent to everybody except whom? Except that particular user, and that's what I wanted. Inform others about disconnected participant and all, and I'm gonna be sending participant information, that's gonna be disconnected participant. Lastly, meeting participants dot length, if that's triple equals to 0, I'm gonna be deleting that particular meeting. So in any case, if that actually becomes to equals to 0, so that's gonna be deleted, and this is kind of okay. So disconnection is done. Well, grant join permission is done, ask to connect is done. So ultimately these three things are okay, handled well. After that, now it's time to go back to the front end and start working on that. But before even that, I have this socket.ts, and apart from this socket helper, I had this add user, but this is not at all needed right now, so let's simply get rid of this as well. And sanitize helper, this is of course needed, so let's keep it. And config db controller, I don't really need to worry about anything else, and this socket actually handles everything. Interesting. This much is done. Coming back to front end section, and actually everything starts from here, from this app and main and meeting page.tsx. So everything actually starts from here. So when it comes to this, so even before that, I have my inside lib, I have different managers. So I have media manager that has the methods related to the media. Media manager even stores kind of manages the states of these things: local stream, screen stream, original video track, and am I missing something? Original video track, okay, kind of it should be like this. So let me just select all of them, Control D. As it got selected, let's simply remove them, and once it is actually removed, after that I'm just simply gonna be formatting it so that it's actually a bit readable. Okay, so this much is done. And by the way, I have these states over here. When it comes to these states, so I have local stream, I have screen stream, and I have original video track. It's good to just store, local stream contains the local video stream, of course, video and audio stream, and it needs to be stored here because readers cannot manage it directly. So because of that thing, I'm having to store them like this. Similarly, stream, so this is not serializable, and because of that thing, I'm having to have it here. And lastly, original video track. Original video track in the sense the stream, from the stream I will be getting the video track and all, and I'm just simply gonna be storing that here. And let's see what's gonna be happening later. And I have init what? Why don't I have any This is insane. I cannot even collapse this for some reason. Can I collapse this? Even this is not possible. Others are already collapsed. That's great. Control reload window. Could it be because of this? Here we are. Cut it. Am I going to be able to collapse? Not really. I'm not. Okay, never mind. Let's continue. For some reason, I'm just simply unable to collapse this. But this is initializing local stream. Then get a local stream, toggle mic, toggle camera. So ultimately, related to the stream is gonna be here. And related to the peer managers in the sense I will have peer connections, I will have remote stream, and I will have RTP senders. So media manager will manage everything related to the local stream. Peer managers are gonna be containing everything related to the peer connection, peer media. Signaling is mainly going to be responsible for handling the signaling part. So again, let's select all these lines and simply get rid of them. And there's high probability that many things are wrong here because I just simply copied and pasted really quick. So I will have to just simply go through all the logic and see the right stuff, whether that's actually right or not, and correct that. But okay, that thing is gonna be done very soon. And then I have socket managers that simply manages socket related information, and right now it has only one thing really. Socket.ts, something is missing from here. Then get socket, reset socket. So when it comes to getting the socket, and I have two things here, right? First one is the socket manager. Socket manager simply gives you the socket, and socket IO, something like this, and you have socket manager. So let's actually keep everything inside socket manager, and socket manager will be responsible of creating the socket. When the socket actually gets created, the value is going to be stored here. So Control X, and the value is actually gonna be inside socket. And let me close this. Socket manager will be responsible for creating the sockets and all the states related to the socket which cannot be really serialized, I'm gonna be storing them here. And when it comes to getting the socket, so first of all I will check whether the socket exists or not, and after that just auto connect false, so that whenever I just say socket.connect, it just simply gets connected, and I'm gonna be returning from here. So this will return me socket, and reset socket just simply used for resetting that and all. So this much. When it comes to the signaling server, I'm getting the error here. So ultimately there is no set meeting, so I have to correct many things. Okay, let's do one thing, start working on the things one by one, because if I just keep going through them, it's gonna be too, like quite hectic. So I'm gonna be starting from here, and this is the main meeting page. And first of all, it is saying that set meeting state does not exist, and that is obvious because now I'm not using that. The another thing is that from the socket I will not be getting these things, that is obvious too. So let's simply get rid of them. And init signaling, okay, let's keep the things like this. So ultimately whenever I come to this particular meeting, dispatch, use dispatch, that's gonna be used. And dispatch is really for a kind of changing the state and all, or yeah, adding the state. Router will be, you already know. Meeting ID, I will be getting it from the params, and once I got that, that's okay. Permission denied, this is actually coming from the state, and whenever the value of the permission denied happens, I will be doing something and all. So this is done. Let me just get rid of all these lines from here too. Control D, select all of them, get rid of them directly in one go. And this is how I will be going ahead. And let's see, first of all, initializing meeting. So whenever you go to the meeting page, so that particular meeting is going to be initialized. And first of all, you are in, this is just for demo purpose, so it is just for testing purpose, just for, this is gonna be a to do. Actually I will be removing it later, just for testing, just like this, keep in mind. So I will be asking the user for the name, and after that if I have the name and I have the meeting, I will just continue. This get socket, I will be getting it from socket manager, so it will be coming just like this. As get socket just simply creates the socket connection and simply returns me the socket connection. So if you come back here, check this thing out, so it just simply returns the socket, and it is just simply saying that auto connect is gonna be false. That simply means if I don't call socket.connect, so if you actually want to get the socket connection ready, so you will have to call socket.connector to just simply get the socket connection ready, just like this. But for now, let's simply get rid of it. It simply means get socket simply creates the socket connection, store the socket connection here globally, and returns the socket connection so that you can use that. As simple as that. Coming back to this, Once I got socket connection, I'm just even storing the value in the reference, use ref. So in a reference variable the value is actually stored, and just after that save meeting info in Redux. The thing is that I already have the meeting information like name and ID, so I'm gonna be saving that here, and once that is actually saved, then I'm gonna be connecting. How will I be saving it? For this particular thing, it's not gonna be saved like this. I will be using dispatch, but apart from this dispatch, if I actually go to my state, I have changed them, and this could be save meeting info. The name is gonna be different at this time. So if I actually go to features, meeting, and meeting slice, so over here the action name is set meeting info. This is the action that has specifically, when it comes to this, so it's going to get two things, meeting ID and this in the action. So action dot payload, so action dot payload, so action actually contains this particular info, action payload action, and that simply means I have to just simply enter this much. Having said that, set meeting info, there needs to be an object, right? Because action dot payload contains the meeting ID and action dot payload contains this. Yeah, that's obvious. So I can just simply copy it from here, and I can just simply paste it and import it. Once it is actually imported, then it needs a payload, and that payload will be taking two things. First of all, meeting ID is needed, second name is needed. So I'm gonna be just simply passing these two, but it is saying that string or this is not assignable to this. So ultimately it is saying that the meeting ID could actually be an array of strings. So I'm just simply gonna be what the hell, okay, I'm gonna be forcefully assigning the string type over here, and I'm just making sure that the value of the meeting ID is actually a string. Okay, so this is how it's gonna be going on. So this is where I'm just simply setting the meeting information. So it's simple. As soon as you are joined, you are just simply setting the meeting information. After that, you are connecting to the socket. Once you connected to the socket, all the signals are gonna be initialized related to the socket here. So init signals are gonna be here. And as for the socket, you can just directly get the socket over there, and I'm gonna be resetting the socket here. Okay, inside this init signal, first of all, I have this dispatch for just dispatch states, dispatching in the sense I will be changing the states and all as per the need. And this socket should come from the socket. There's a problem. The problem is const socket. If I actually want to get the socket, in that case I need to get it from get socket manager like this, and I hope this should not be problematic. So I'm just simply getting the socket from there, and I will be able to get the socket from there, because first of all it is actually checking whether the socket actually exists or not. If it actually exists, this will never run. It will just directly return me the socket, and when the socket actually gets returned, I got that here, and once I have the socket, I can continue with the things. So once I have the socket, I'm connecting. After that, requesting to join. After that, existing users, new participants joined and all. Many events are gonna be just getting listened to here. But first of all, this is the section. I'm gonna be getting a connection ready. Once the connection is ready, first of all, I need the state. So store.getState simply gives me the state. Is that so? Why do I need this state over here? Because from the state only I'll be able to get the meeting. Yeah, kinds of makes sense. Because in a function I cannot directly use a selector, because that is a hook, and that is why I'm just using state store over here. So I got the state. Once I got the state, so state.meeting, and from the meeting I'm just getting the name and meeting ID. Once I have the name and meeting ID, I'm just simply passing both of them here, name and meeting ID. They will be passed back to the backend, and once they are passed back to the backend, then the meeting is actually going to be created. Okay, so if I go to the backend right now, where is the backend? This is the front end part, quite a lot. Yeah, this is the backend part, socket.ts, and over here I will be getting that ask to connect, and whenever I get that particular part, user actually gets connected here, and request to join meeting and all, everything's right. So ultimately this is how things are gonna be going on. That can be actually the host. By the way, as soon as I get the data, first of all I check whether the meeting already exists or not. Once the meeting, I am sure meeting exists, then okay. If the meeting does not exist, I create the meeting. After that, I get the user information. After that, I just simply add that particular user to a new meeting room. Ultimately, I create a room, socket room, and that gets simply added there. This is just happens for the adding all the sockets in a room, so that I can just simply broadcast the event to all of them. Lastly, I'm checking if host exists. That's it. If that does not exist, that will become the host. And if ultimately host already exists, in that case I will be just simply requesting an emitting an event request to join meeting, so that host can actually allow it. And this request is going to be going to the host. By the way, whenever the user actually joins, okay, so as soon as user joined it, fine. So whose signaling server is this? By the way, signaling server is kind of always one, but at the end I'm just simply talking about the socket. So whose socket do I have over here? This is going to be the socket of whom? The person who's trying to join, as simple as that, obviously. And in that case, if the host already exists, I'm gonna be emitting an event to the host. So IO meeting host, so event is going to be emitted over there. That simply means if I use socket here, that should be fine, just like this. So socket, what it does, send join request to the host. So socket excludes the current user, and apart from that particular user, it can send the request to anybody, and that means this should be working over here. Okay, so let's even see whether this actually works or not, because of course I will have to check each and everything. I think over here both the things should work. IO should work directly over here, and socket should work directly over here. And if I actually want to check this thing, so I'll actually have to make many changes. First of all, let's keep the backend part at the end here. And when it comes to this signaling server, so there are gonna be actually many things. So in that case, by the way, I get the request over here, and as soon as I get the request, I'm just gonna be checking it very soon, but there are many errors. So request to join, as soon as I get the errors, I mean request here, and after that dispatch, I need to dispatch. And over here, for what am I gonna be doing right now, or what do I need? I need to dispatch the request join permission. At that time, this is gonna be open model, because set open model or something. Let's see, do I have that here or not? So inside features, okay, this is gonna be the part, and that's gonna be open join model. So this is the model that I need to set, and it simply takes the participant. So it just simply inside the payload, it has the participant information, so I just need to simply add that, and that's it. And once it gets that, so action.payload, and it just needs that particular participant. That's simple. And state.joining participant will become the part of that, and open model will become true. So that's gonna be the joining participants. That's okay. So that simply means I need to go back here, and not even here, go back to the signaling server. This is the front end part, and as soon as get the request over here, so open join model, and this time it's just simply gonna be getting the participant information, and I hope I'm already getting this participant here. So this participant needs to be passed here as well, just like this, and this should be fine. And everything actually takes an object directly, so I think this is more than enough. Okay, so this much is done. Apart from this particular thing, what else do I need to do? Once this much is done, so model is going to be open, and as soon as model opens, not only that, open join model, this simply just two things here. First of all, it is gonna be changing the open model true, and the meeting participant, joining participant is gonna be there. And on the meeting side, I have to listen for this particular state as well. So whenever the value changes, I will be kind of opening the model, right? So for this particular thing, I can go back to what? I can go back to my main page over here, and in this particular page, this is the first use effect that I had, and that was mainly for initializing the stuff and all. Apart from this particular use effect, I'm gonna be having one more, but I don't have that. So ultimately this is being socket is being passed over here, and I think I'm listening for that particular event over here. By default that is actually hidden. So when it comes to this join permission model, so if you actually have a look here, so by default it is going to be hidden. Ultimately, as soon as whenever this button is clicked, only at that time it's gonna be visible here. By the way, coming back to this, I have this use effect over here, and this is listening, dependent on open model. So whenever the value actually changes, this will run. And first of all, I'm gonna be checking whether the model ref current value is there or not. Overall things are right. If it is model open is true, it will just simply open the model, otherwise it will not do anything. And if the model actually gets open, after that I can allow it or deny it. So from permission granted, I will be getting the permission, and I will be emitting an event socket permission. It will have two things. It will have granted a permission granted, it will have the user information, and that's it. And then I'm dispatching and setting the meeting state. Again, this is something that's gonna be wrong here. So this set meeting state, let's simply remove it, because what am I trying to do here? As soon as grant join permission happened, after that open model should be false and joining participant should be null. That simply means that is closed model, right? So I can go back to my meeting slice, so that is this one, and over here I already have this closed join model, and what it does, it just simply sets the model to false, open model to false, and joining participants, the value actually becomes null. So far what I have been doing, I've been just managing the things manually, but here they are just I've created separate actions for them. So this is how it just simply goes. So close join model, and once this is actually called, that's it. I don't really need to do anything. It will automatically handle everything. So when it comes to this close join model, it doesn't really need anything, doesn't really need any action and all. So this part is done as well. So I can come back to this join model over here. So I have even closed the model. Once the model is actually closed, you don't really need to do anything, and overall things are done here. So nothing needs to be changed. So this particular part is kind of working. So as soon as I get the request here, grant request here, so going back to the socket, server, signaling server, and as soon as I get the request here, grant request, so first of all I'll check whether the user exists or not, and if the permission is not granted, I will be returning. And again, I'm using IO over here. Why? Whose socket connection signaling server it is. So whenever user allows or user denies, ultimately I'm talking about the host over here. So this is the signaling server, kind of signaling socket connection of the host over here that I have. And I can use socket here or not. Let's check this thing. This is the signaling server, socket connection of the host. That simply means if I use socket here, this socket will not be able to send the request to the host, and I don't really need to do deny join permission. That means if I use socket, this should be fine. But let's see, I'm gonna be even checking this particular thing whether it actually works or not. Apart from this particular thing, meeting participants, that particular participant is going to be added, and then inform existing participants. Now I have to inform existing participants. Existing participants in the sense, I have to inform the host itself. I have to inform the host too. So let's do one thing. Whatever I've changed here, this particular section, let's keep it like this, and I'm gonna be checking them one by one. Overall, it should be working. And when this particular thing is done, let's simply close this, and that's it, done. User got connected, and now we can get the other thing done. And by the way, if that is deny in the sense, sorry, not here actually, coming back to the signaling server, request, and then existing user, new user joined. So existing users inform others about new participant. That simply means I will be getting the information of the new participant over here. As I got that, then this is the another way. Dispatch directly provides the get state as well. The first option is actually just what is the first option using the state? So dispatch. So dispatch, that is thunk action, and the second is actually the state that it provides. So the second option is actually gonna be the state, get state, and calling that I will be able to get it. So as I can see it here, this is the first action, and just after that auth, meeting state, meeting media, just like this. And then the second value is actually hopefully that is the get state, and as second value is the get state, so get state meeting other participants. I will be able to get the other participants from there, and this is the time to just simply set it. So when it comes to setting it, so what am I gonna be doing here? Other participants got the new participant, so it's like new participant is actually going to be added over here. Interesting. Let's get rid of this. So in that case, so first of all I use this patch. Isn't this crazy? Okay, let's get rid of this first of all. It's just gonna be like that. So what am I actually doing? I'm using dispatch. Using dispatch I'm getting the current actions and all, and inside that I'm using another dispatch. So inside dispatch you are using another dispatch. Interesting. Let's see, I will be just rechecking it whether this is actually right or not. By the way, coming back to this, if I go to that meeting slice, and this time set participants, add participants. Set participants will be adding more participant, and add participant will be adding just one. So I just have to add participant over here. So what it does, it just simply gets one participant. So inside payload there's gonna be a participant information. So state dot other, ultimately what happens over here, action dot payload gets the information about the participant, and I will be adding it to the so state dot other participants. I will just simply push it here. So this is the add participant action that I actually need over there. So coming back to this, instead of using this add participant, and add participant, first of all of course I need to import it. Once it is imported, I'm gonna be giving it the new participant here. So new participant is actually gonna be passed here. So new participant, and this should be fine. I'm gonna be checking it whether is this actually right or not. If this is actually right, then you can actually use two dispatches inside each other. Interesting. The first dispatch simply is used for getting the state. The second one is actually yeah, I mean this is definitely possible. What is actually happening over here, first dispatch is used for getting the state, second one is for just simply using that particular action. Is this right? Oh well, never believe the AI. Okay, all the code was written by the AI. Okay, by the way, this is trying to use thunk, but you are calling dispatch with a function that only works if redux plus thunk middleware is enabled, and even then this is unnecessary. So what can I do? Why this is wrong here? You are not using current. Oh. Other participants. Just a minute. Inform others about the new participant. The question is, why am I getting this current here? What was I doing here earlier? I have to just simply check that thing out too. So in fact, this was the thing that was happening here earlier. So when it comes to this other participants, I was getting the current ones and I was getting the new participants. So this is how it was added. But this time I don't really need to do anything as such. Rather, I can directly call add participant just like this, and new participant, and that's it. The participant is actually gonna be added. So it's, I mean, quite straightforward here. Okay, by the way, new participant is gonna be added like this. There is also one of the which I will be just checking that thing out later, but that is only when you are just handling everything on the client side. But here inside the state, I mean inside slice is everything is getting handled. So if I go to actually slice, and once I get the participant over here, and first of all I'm getting the state other participants dot sum. First of all I'm checking in the sense what, state other participants sum participants connection ID. If that's equals to this connection ID, that means that user already exists. If that user already exists, then you don't need to do anything. If it does not exist, just save the value. So that's what I'm actually doing here, and this is kind of okay, understandable. So even this part is working right now. Apart from this particular thing, I'm gonna be informing the new user here, and when informing the new user, I'm just going to get other participants, and when I get the other participants, so there is a mistake here. The mistake is I cannot really add participants directly, sorry for that. Dispatch just like this. So this is right now. Apart from this particular thing, when it comes to set participants, I can have one more set participants here. And what does this need, I mean take? So when it comes to this set participants, so I have this add participant over here, I have this set participants, and this set participants mainly gets all the participants at once. So action.payload actually contains the array, and that's it. So what can I actually do? I can come back here, and when setting the participants, so I will get the other participants. I'm just simply gonna be passing them here, and that should be enough. And as I pass them, create pair connections for all existing, and then of course I have to create the peer connections as well. So new participants connection ID, peer connection is going to be ready, other participants for each, and create connection participant connection ID. So this is okay. Whew, interesting. So this much is done, and I think as this much is done, user should be connected, and as the user is connected, that's it. At least the remaining things should be working. As for these things, existing user, that's done actually. I hope I've done this particular section. Yeah, so these two things are done, and now offer related stuff is actually going to be handled later. So for now, disconnected, even I'm gonna be having either here. So let's do one thing, let's even correct this one. So whenever the user is actually disconnected, participant disconnected, so I will be getting what from the server side, whenever the user disconnects, at that time I will be triggering an event, and here I'm gonna be informing others about disconnected user. So coming back to the signaling server, signaling.ts, this is on the client side. So over here I will get the information about the participant who actually left, and once I got, is the name the same, participant, yeah. So I got the information of the participant who left. After that, dispatch. What do I actually need to do here? First of all, I have to just simply send the dispatch, and on the client side, ultimately slice, I will be using the action, and as I have already created the action, so it's gonna be done using that. So here there's gonna be remove participant. This is the action that I'm gonna be using, and using that things are gonna be quite easier. So dispatch remove participant, and I just need to give it the participant. It will be just simply removing that. Turns out meeting participant is not assignable to type string. What is this doing? This remove participant. So when it comes to this remove participant, so payload state other participants. So state other participants, filter, I'm gonna be filtering on the basis of what? This is logic is wrong here. When it comes to removing participant, I want to remove the participant, but I should have the information for removing that particular participant. So if I'm just directly giving action.payload here, so it's kind of, I'm expecting it to give me this is fine, okay. It is just simply asking me to just send the state directly over here, sorry, connection ID here. So action.payload is actually gonna be containing the connection ID. Should I do that? Or there are two ways actually here. When it comes to removing this particular participant, so there's like okay, you want to remove the participant, you already have the participant, you can get the connection ID of the participant. So remove participant is going to be removed just like this. So I will be passing the connection ID. So this is how it's gonna be done. Apart from this particular thing, I can just pass the whole participant, and that could also get removed. Passing the connection ID, it actually directly works, and as it works, so let it work, as simple as that. Then there is something called remove peer connection. Peer connections also needs to be removed. So okay, let's not worry about the peer connections right now. This is done, that's more than enough. As for the peer connections, even I have to just create them as soon as the user joins, so we will be talking about them, and no doubt errors are gonna be there. And lastly, I have this deny, and again the problem is here. Deny in the sense user denied, socket is going to be disconnected, and dispatch set meeting state permission denied is gonna be true. So dispatch set permission, let's check out the slice here. Set permission denied, this is the action that I actually need to use, and this action is gonna be doing what? This action is actually gonna be taking a boolean that actually can be true or that can be false, and that's it. So coming back to this one, signaling dispatch set permission denied, and permission denied is actually gonna be true over here. I hope that's the same thing I was doing earlier. Yeah. So yeah, if you actually structure your code better, it's kind of even readable better. I mean, you can read it in a better way. So things gets structured in the best way possible. By the way, okay, let's continue. So I've done this much. Apart from this particular thing, it's time to actually check whether the things actually work as expected or not, right? So in that case, peer managers, what is the problem here? This socket is not available here directly, that's obviously. And if I actually want the socket here, because no doubt I'm gonna be socket is going to be needed here. So const, or before exporting anything and all, I will be just simply having the socket here at the end. So const socket get socket, and this is how I will be getting the socket. Now the error is resolved. And apart from this particular thing, this is the last thing that I have to fix, and not the last thing, but for checking purpose. So whenever the permission is actually denied, so if permission denied is true, that simply means user needs to be redirected to the dashboard page, and set permission denied, that's actually gonna be false here. So by the way, this is not how it works. So dispatch set permission denied is gonna be just like this, and overall things are done, no errors as such. Time to run it and see it in action. But yeah, thanks to the AI, I must say, I've been writing the code. I wrote it to my level best. But when I actually took the help of AI, the way AI actually organized the code, that's far better than I even wrote earlier. So happy for knowing the new way here. npm run dev, let's simply restart it, and it's restarted, that's great. Let's simply run the front end as well, and as the front end is running, let's see. Coming back to this one, I'll actually have to start this. First of all, I'm gonna be redirected to the home page, and let's see if I get some errors or not. Don't worry, we can just fix everything. Click on login. Here we are, create a new meeting. Again, I need to just simply check the logs and all. Let me keep it on the left side, and this is how we will be going ahead. Many things needs to be checked, but first of all, user information is there and all. And if I go to the backend, connection is not ready yet. Of course, it should not be. Let's create the meeting. Congratulations, got the first error. And what is that error? That is the set meeting media state. It turns out I'll actually have to go through it all. So let's fix that as well. So set meeting media state. That error actually comes from where? It is on meeting options.tsx. So components meeting options. So it's time to go to meeting options. So wherever I have my meeting options, and this is one of the first errors that I have, and this is set meeting media state. So let's simply get rid of this, and the state is actually not gonna be set like that. So coming back to this, Control D, just select all of them. First of all, let me format it better. Okay, apart from this particular thing, there are some errors. Handle mic, and whenever I'm actually changing the mic, so toggle mic actual media change. Toggle mic will do what? Toggle mic is actually responsible for changing the or disabling the audio. That's right. Coming back to this, I have to change it on the UI. This is gonna be the UI update. But when it comes to this UI, so of course I need to call dispatch, and this should be something. What is the action right now? So I need to go to features again, and inside features only I have media slice, and inside media I have set mic, I have set camera, I have set screen. So this time of course I'm setting the mic, and I have to just simply send it true or false. Ultimately boolean needs to be sent. So handle mic, set mic state, and set mic state is gonna be what? True. Not true actually, new state. Just like this it's gonna be going on. Earlier it was like what? Earlier it was like this. So I was using new state here already. So this time I'm gonna be going ahead like this. So set mic state is mainly responsible for setting the mic state. So whatever the mic state is right now, that's gonna be set. So I will be getting action.payload over here, state.mic on, whatever the value of the mic is going to be set here. Similarly set camera, same thing is gonna be happening over here. I'm gonna be just simply sending it. Set screen, most probably again the same thing I'm doing, and lastly reset is gonna be happening whenever it's needed. Okay, fine. So this particular thing is done. Set mic. Once this particular is done, let's go to the set camera and all. So over here, instead of set meeting media state, I will directly be set camera state, and this is again not gonna be true actually. It should be a new state, and the value of the new state is just gonna be the opposite of the current state. So this is how it's gonna be going on. And lastly I have this screen share, and when it comes to this screen share, so first of all this can be either true or false. Apart from this particular thing, if new state is true, in that case await start screen share will replace the video track internally. Yeah, that's right. And stop screen share restore the camera track. That's right. But for now I will actually be turning it off. Let's turn it on. Who cares? Dispatch, and screen set screen share, and that's actually gonna be what? New state. So this is how I'm gonna be going on. And as for this particular thing, how will I be even sharing the screen and all, that's something I will be checking later. But overall things should be working fine. So let's see if I am actually getting any error or not. So the name is actually gonna be Vipendra here. Let's simply add it. UI looks awful. I can change it, not really a big problem. If I turn on the camera, hello, it doesn't work. Okay, ultimately these things are yet to be done. As for the UI, it looks terrible here. Let me fix the UI first. So when it comes to this UI, that simply means the close everything, and right now I need to fix the UI. So for that thing I can go to the media container, and inside this media container, this is the part that I have, and this is the local user related stuff, this is the other user related stuff. Okay, that's fine. And first of all I'm using grid here, right? So this is gonna be the first information for user, this is gonna be the other user. So instead of using grid over here, let me do one thing. I'm gonna be using flex, and justify justify is gonna be center, and apart from this particular thing, items are gonna be center, and center gap is actually gonna be around 5, and flex wrap is going to be enabled. So this is how I'm gonna be going ahead like this. Let's simply see what kind of result am I. Well, this was not expected. I'm getting it only on the left side. Okay, this particular section, as there is only one user, can I give it width full? Okay, yeah, it is. And as for this thing, it looks really small, and in that case, let me give it flex 1. Okay, calm down. Let me make some more changes here. Even these are it will be having flex half. No, not flex half. Let's not worry about this. First of all, it should have some width, right? So, but this much width is not good actually. In that case, it has the height. How is the width getting decided? Width full. So this video section had the width full, but this one does not have any width at all. In that case, let's give it width of how much? By default, they should have some width, at least 400 pixel, or probably 500. By default, they should have actually have the whole width, but okay, this is something I will be fixing later. And this can be equivalent to width 125. So width 125. Okay, right now I'm just gonna be going on like this. Later I can fix it, I can even make it better, but that is the job that will be done later. Okay, by the way, if the other users tries to join this, so coming back to this, when it comes to this particular state here, so in this particular section, when it comes to auth, let's not worry about that. Inside the meeting, I have the current user, and other things are just like this. If the other user actually tries to join the same meeting, coming back to this one, of course I'll have to enter the name, so let's name it unstoppable, enter it here. Camera is in use, that's okay. And it turns out even model is not working as expected. As expected, there are actually many errors. Let's check this thing out. Never mind, that is something we can, that is something that can be fixed though, but before that can actually be fixed. Okay, so Control Shift T, reload the page, go back to the backend. I think I need to log the things well, otherwise I will not even be able to know what's actually happening. VIP. First of all, this thing, media. From the media container, I'm getting this error. Media container. And the problem is this. I don't even need to worry about this thing as if now, but what is the problem here? Uncaught in promise, not readable, could not start video source. Okay, it's gonna be too much, I know, but first of all, let's fix this thing. This video related part is not working. even before this part working, forget about that. I need to check whether I'm getting those events on the server side or not. Otherwise, it's gonna be quite hard to just simply get the things done. For that particular thing, I'm gonna be coming back to this socket, and one small change that I will be making here, that's gonna be whenever I get this event gets triggered, so CLG event asks to connect, so that at least I know about this particular event here. So it's gonna be going on like this, and the data should be right, so I'm not worried about the data and all. CLG event, and let's simply copy everything, copy and paste, and lastly this is the event that I am gonna have. So CLG event, and I'm gonna be having this particular event over here. So at least this way I will be able to recognize the things and all well, and the same thing I'm gonna be doing on the front end side, so that I'm able to see how many things are actually going right. In that case, I can go to the signaling, and that is inside lib, so signaling.ts. so connect socket connected successfully, so this is already done. After that, join request, I'm logging it, interesting. After that, inform logging new participant join, that's also great. And then log existing participants, okay, informing me others and all. So at that time, if I'm actually informing others about the new participants, so I will be getting the new participant information, and if I'm informing myself, like the new user, so I will be getting the existing participants. Apart from this particular thing, denied, and errors, so participant left. So ultimately everything is getting logged. And right now let's check this thing. So coming back to this, I'm gonna be deleting this control, I'm already here, and this time let's log the value, reload the page, and FDS, and these are the errors that I'm getting. And the error is actually coming from media container, so it's time to go back to media container and see what is causing the issue. Media container, this is a component, and inside this media container, where am I getting the error? So when I'm actually initializing the stuff, the main issue happens there. Interesting. So initialization, whenever I'm initializing it, so first of all I'm getting the stream, and then that's it. So what is the problem here? Uncaught in promise, not a readable error, could not start a video source. It is unable to start the video source for some reason. Interesting. So as it is unable to start the video source, so this is the first thing that actually happens, because this is the media container, that simply means it is going to run for the first time, and after that connection is gonna be established there. And if it doesn't run well, then connection is never gonna establish. Media container. Okay, let's check this thing out. Mainly the problem is here. I can go to init local stream, and first of all I'm checking whether the local stream actually exists or not. After that, local stream is gonna be equals to await, I hope it is right, navigator and media devices and all. This is much is fine. Original video track, so I'm getting the local stream, by default they are true. Okay, and after that, original video track is gonna be local stream that I have, get tracks 0, or it can be null. I have the stream. Okay, I'm getting the tracks from there, so yeah, it can kind of contains the video track. And after that, I'm just simply disabling the audio as well as the video, and lastly I'm returning the audio local stream from here, and once it actually returned, then that's okay. And if there's any error, media error, then I will be getting that error. So is that the media error that I'm getting? Wow, interesting. Okay, let's one more step, closure. So media error, that error is not quite readable, so I'm getting this error because of that. Interesting. So it is just like media could not start the video source. So I'm getting this error because it is not able to start the media source. Wow, lovely. In that case, let's do one thing. I'm gonna be turning off this particular camera over here so that it is actually able to get the video. Most probably I'm getting the issue because of this. Coming back to this, if I reload the page and let's enter some name. Welcome back to the real world. Now not getting that error, at least that thing is clear. I can turn it on, I can turn it off, is completely up to me. Same can be done with the audio, but it is for some reason it is not working, never mind. But yeah, at least this is working, that's fine. The next thing is that this is working, but am I connected to my backend? Not really. So socket connection hasn't been established yet. Even if I'm inside the meeting, that's great, but socket connection hasn't been established. Question is why? So when it comes to the socket connection, so socket connection is not getting established directly. So whenever I'm actually initializing, so if I go to the media container, inside the media container, even before that, everything actually happens inside meeting over here, and in this particular section I connect to socket, but before that socket get this mainly returns the socket from here, and it is trying to connect it to localhost 3000, and that is, congratulations, wrong. That should be 1000 because my backend is actually running on 1000 port. If I'm not wrong, it is definitely running on 1000 port. So because this was wrong, so I'm getting the error. Having said that, is it possible to get the URL, next public URL from the environment variable? In Next.js, I think it is handled directly. So in that case, let me do one thing. Coming back to this, Control C, this, paste it here. Cannot be pasted or what? Control C, copied, Control V, pasted, and this is gonna be http://localhost and 8000. The thing is that in case if it faced the errors, so it should be throwing some messages like failed to connect or something, but even that is not happening. Transport waves or force wave socket optional but cleaner. Okay, let's see whether it is actually able to connect or not this time. Later we'll fix this. Starting this, and same thing is gonna be happening here as well, and enter, and right now it is saying that socket connection established. That simply means socket connection got established. Even I'm getting this particular log here, so there was a log already. Never expected this thing. So if I actually go to my backend, and inside this backend it turns out, okay, this is the thing. Socket connection connected, and then ask to event, so that I'm merely logging the events right now. That's fine. So once this thing is done, what is the next step? The next step is that another user, but one thing is wrong here. What is that? If for some reason I failed to connect, so I just want to listen to that as well. So this is the connection part, that's great, okay, but socket dot on, if there's any error, in that case clg failed to connect to socket. I mean, at least this much. So let's see whether I get this error or not. And for getting this error, of course, I have to go to the environment variable, and environment variable of the front end, this particular part, I'm gonna be making it 1 2 3 4 get on the dance floor, as simple as that. And this time if I actually restart this and let's see what happens. Socket connected successfully, impressive. If I actually reload this part, WebSocket connection failure. Right now I'm getting the WebSocket connection failure. Earlier, why wasn't I getting it? Having said that, I'm getting socket disconnected. Okay, so I don't even need to have that error message. It works. That simply gets disconnected. So okay, happy to know that. That simply means I don't need to have this here. So socket.ts, this is not needed. This connection actually handles everything. And apart from that particular thing, I'm getting these messages. That's kind of okay. Now let's come back here again. Let's restart the server just for a while, and same thing is gonna actually happen here. Coming back to this, and Unstoppable is the user who's actually gonna be joining, and a socket connection actually got established. This is the video track, and if I turn it on, of course I will be able to see myself, and that's good. Unstoppable is the name here as well. What else could be better than this? The another thing is that if other user actually tries to join, in that case what will happen? So I can be back here, I can just simply enter. Of course I'm gonna be needing to enter my name. I'm gonna be needed actually Vipendra, and coming back to this, I can either allow it or I can deny it. This is gonna be a join request. I'm getting it here thanks to the AI formatting the things well. I can allow it, and as soon as I allowed this, WebSocket connection failed. But that user is definitely WebSocket connection failed for some reason. That's okay, connection failed because for what it failed I have no idea, but I can go back to my Redux state. If I actually check the meeting state, there are no participants right now. Coming back to this, well, it actually failed. Coming back to this, what is the issue? The issue is meetings participant meeting ID. This is not quite readable. So line number 45, this meeting ID that I actually got, this is what is the problem. Can't read the properties of undefined, so ultimately meeting ID is actually undefined. Great to know that. Grant permission. While granting the permission, am I not sending anything from the server client side? So socket.ts, well, this is the dist. First of all, delete this thing, and apart from this particular thing, I'm gonna be going to the client, and signaling inside this signaling.ts simply handles everything related to the signaling stuff. And I can be back to this grant permission event. This is the event, not this event. Request to join, and what grant permission. I'm just simply gonna open the model. So this grant permission event will be triggered from where? Will be triggered from the model side. So let's go to the join permission model, and if the model is actually handle join permission, and I'm sending the joining participant information from here. Where am I getting this from? It actually comes from the state, meeting state, joining participant. Am I actually adding it? When? While signaling. So whenever the user tries to join, open join model, I just pass the participant, and in here, when the participant actually comes, action.payload, joining participants actually gets added, and once it actually gets added, that simply means it should be available there, and as it is available here, so grant join permission granted, and joining participant. So what is the issue? After that, close join model, everything works fine. The value of this joining participant becomes undefined, or coming back to the socket.ts over here, this grant permission, I'm gonna be getting the participant over here. Okay, sorry, my bad. The problem is from here I'm sending the user participant. I should be sending the participant. Coming back to this, now I'm getting the participant over here, and it should be able to get that, and things should be working fine. Stop everything, restart it, and once restarted, socket connection got established. Glad to know that. Coming back to this, this is the host, this is the user who's trying to join. I can allow it, and as soon as I allowed it, now I'm not getting the existing participant. There is one participant right now, Vipendra, that actually joined the meeting. Unstoppable allowed it, and if I check the states right now, so Redux, coming back to meeting, the other participants, there is one other participant. Coming back to this particular user here as well, and Redux meeting participants, there is one other participant. So yeah, things are working quite well. So ultimately what is happening, two users are actually able to join a room. Okay, now what if actually one of the users leaves, suppose, and one more thing, the impressive thing is here. This is the Unstoppable, this is the Vipendra, but of course I need to get the WebRTC connection ready and all, and after that things are gonna be working fine. But at least I'm getting Vipendra here, but the size of it should be 125 around. So let me change the UI part. Changing the UI part in the sense, what? Go to meeting, page.tsx here, and inside this page.tsx media container I need to go to, and inside media container I have two things. I have this local user, and the width is 125. The same width needs to be assigned here as well. So let's simply add the width here so that both of them look the same. Okay, by the way, Unstoppable is the host. So what I want, if you are the host, so host should be written there. So let me make some changes in the sense, this is the local user, whoever is the host, it doesn't matter, like the local user and all. Name, not like this. What? Let's have this name over here, but before that I will have the host as well. So it's somewhat gonna be like this. So if you, how will I check whether the user is the host or not? So bro, this thing is gonna be crazy. The crazy means either you can be the host, but you are not in storing your information, or you are. Am I storing the information of the current user? अरे कहाँ से पता चलेगा? Meeting features, meeting slice, and inside the slice I have the name. Other participants permission not joining participants, but I don't have my information. So whenever the user is actually joins the meeting, that user should be informed about himself. Okay, for what? So that I can actually show whether that particular user is actually a host or not. So let me ask for a good name. Good name in the sense, if inside meeting slice I want to store my info as well when I join, what should be right name for that? sometimes getting the right name, I mean having the right name is actually plays a major role. So it does play a major role. So I just keep looking for the right name. Other participants, naming is very important for clean architecture. Other participants, and you want to also store your own info inside meeting slice. So the question is, what should be the right name for your own participant? Self, current participant, most correct and scalable, that is gonna be self. Otherwise, current participant, or between the two current participant. Why not just okay, got it. So let's name it current participant, that is already here. So this current participant, the type is already here, and it can actually be null and all, and I'm gonna just simply even cleaner option participants current. If you want to production level clarity, so participants and participants ID, then derive it from the participants. Bro, participants are gonna be containing everything. I'm not storing participants, rather I'm just simply storing the current like other participants only one. So current participant is me, and then this, okay, that's fine. Final recommendation is just name it current participants and all. By the way, other participants are gonna be like this. So let's go ahead. The name is actually decided. That's gonna be open model. Forget about this open model. Current participant, just like this. Of course, the value of it is actually gonna be null, and I actually need to have the type here as well. Let me fix this thing today, and remaining things I will be doing tomorrow. So the overall plan is ki at least give it 5 hours in a day. So if I'm working on a project, I'm gonna be giving it 5 hours, and in the remaining time I will be learning something else. It's simple. 5 hours working on a project is more than enough. By the way, coming back to this, current participant, let me even show why do I want to add the value of the current participant, meeting participant, or it can be null, just like this. Once this is actually added, I'm even gonna be creating the action. So set meeting info, join model, this set participants, add participants, remove participant, reset participant. I'm gonna be adding something, set meeting info just below that, set current participant. This is the of course it will be getting the action as well, and it will just keep going on like this, and it will have this a comma here, and when it comes to this particular action, it will have a type. First of all, payload action, and this payload action will actually contain the meeting participant. This is more than enough. And when it comes to this, so I will be getting state.current participant, and action.payload is actually gonna be assigned here, and that's it. I mean, Redux is simple. It's not, I was scared of Redux actually. Now it feels like okay, nothing. Now you are just simply playing with the states and all. Set current participant, just like this. So this particular section is done as well. And when it comes to this setting this, so whenever I'm informing new participant about other participants, at that time I have to send the information about the new participants as well. So from the signaling server side, whenever I'm actually informing new participant about other participants, right, at that time what am I sending? I'm sending this. And what else do I need to send? Current participant. I'm gonna be sending the value of the current participant. The question is, how will you get that? And the answer is quite straightforward, because I already have this participant over here. That is the participant, that's gonna be the current one. So in that case, participant should be enough. Okay, and let's go to the front end side. Signaling.ts. It's better to just simply not this signaling ts. Come back here, and request join in existing users, new participant, new receives all existing users. Here we are, and from here, first of all, I will be getting the other participant. Second one is gonna be the current participant. The question is, what is gonna be the type of this current participant? So current there. Can't I type well today? Current participant, not pant, participant. That's gonna be meeting participant, should be enough. So right now I'm getting two things, and when I'm actually dispatching, so first of all, I'm dispatching set participants. I'm setting the other participants, and dispatch set current participant, literally set participants. I have this, then I have this set current participants. The question is, why am I not getting the suggestions there? Coming back to this, signaling.ts, here I am, and inside this particular section, in here, creating the connection is altogether this different thing. Dispatch set current participant. Forget about the suggestion right now. I'm just gonna be writing it on my own, and I'm gonna be giving it the value of the current participant. The question is that, why am I not getting it here? From the meeting slice, can't I get this set current participant? I don't know what is the problem here. Okay, got it, my bad. Coming back to this, I know why I'm not getting the suggestions here. It is mainly because I'm not exporting it from the slice. So coming back to this, I even need to export it. So just below this, set current participant, I have to export like this. Once it is actually exported, then I should be able to just directly import it here. This is gonna be imported, and that's it. The job is done. Okay, job is done. I have the current participant. What is the next thing? The next thing is gonna be quite interesting. First of all, close everything. Go to this media container. Inside this media container, other participants I'm gonna be getting current participant as well. Once I have the current participant, so current participant will definitely have its name as well, so no need to worry about that. Coming back to this, so if current participant is host, if current participant value is current participant is host, if that is actually a host, in that case host, and then this, otherwise just this. I mean, this is how I will be going ahead, and otherwise participant, and this. How about this? I mean, at least I will be able to know whether that is a host or not. And same thing, copy, Control C, and name is going to be here. And right now I'm gonna be getting the participant here. So participant is host, otherwise this, and this should be fine. So coming back to this, I have to enter a name, VIP, VIP. Literally, you've got to be kidding me. Close this, and the socket connection got disconnected. Restart everything, and reload the page. First one is gonna be Vipendra. So Vipendra is the participant. Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? The first user should be the host. Is a host, then host, otherwise participant. Same here, if current participant is host, then this. Something is missing. Okay, another user tries to join this. Hey, what am I doing? Another user tries to join this test. Participant, coming back to this, I will have to allow. And once I allowed it, oh, test becomes the host. Is that so? That means something is definitely wrong. Let me stop both the things. Or maybe I'm missing the logic. It's just working opposite. npm rundev. Coming back to this one, let's simply restart it. Login, create the meeting. Unstoppable. Why? Inspect, redux, meeting. Current participant is actually null. Got it. The event is not getting triggered, and it's right time to just simply check that too. Whenever the user actually joins the meeting, why is the event not getting triggered? Coming back here, going to signaling. No, server. Socket.ts. Over here, whenever a user joins, at that time, when I inform others are gonna be definitely inform existing participants. So whenever it is, the user grants the permission, few things need to be done. If I ask to connect, and if I am the host, then if you are the host, then nothing. You have joined it. If I am the host, won't I be notifying myself? No. I need to listen for an event. I need to emit an event from here so that I'm actually able to send my information as a host to the client side so that I can make some changes there. And that needs to be done here. So if I am the host, that's okay. I will be returning from here. But send host info to the client side, as simple as that, needs to be done here. And apart from this particular thing, this is gonna be done here. That's okay, understandable, quite understandable. But if the other user tries to join this, this is gonna be the test user. Okay, coming back to this, I got a request. If I allow it, I allowed this. Now there are two participants. One thing did not work. New participant joined existing user. Something is missing. A person tries to join the meeting. That person is able to get the new participant join and existing participants. Let's have proper names, because this does not make any sense. Proper name in the sense, I can come back to, at least I'm going to resolve this issue and then I will be ending this. So many things are here, so it's better to just simply search signaling.ts. Coming back to this, and if that is this event, Control C. I want to know about the proper events which are getting triggered. So CLG event, just like this. So this is the first one, and same is gonna be happening with this. So CLG event, and this is the one, right? Okay, fine, continue, let's go ahead. So Of course, for that thing I'll actually have to stop my backend, then I will have to restart it, then a user joins, another asks to connect, so this becomes the host, and as for this one, socket got connected, this becomes the host. I'm going to allow it, and as soon as I allowed, the host did not get notified, first of all this thing, and over here I need to refresh the page. Okay, new meeting is going to be created altogether, that's understandable. Let's refresh the page right now. Coming back to this, am I gonna be creating the new meeting then? No, hey, that's still gonna be the same meeting. If that's gonna be the same meeting, that's gonna be problematic. In that case, other user is gonna be the host. So if I actually check that thing out, the another user is gonna be the host. Let's simply stop it. Let's simply close this thing. Once this thing is actually closed, npm rundev, coming back to this, unstoppable. Okay, now once this particular thing got done, control C, another user will try to join it. That's gonna be Dipendra. Enter, allow. Okay, coming back to this one, console. So first of all, inform others about new participant. So a user tried to join meeting, the meeting, and then inform others about new participant. That user itself is actually getting that event. That's not right actually. Inform new participant about this is right, but this one is not right. So I need to go to backend in the sense socket.ts. Coming back to this, in this particular section, whenever I'm granting the permission, at that time inform others, I'm using socket here. What should I be using? Socket actually excludes the current user in the sense it will exclude the host itself. So let me use true here, not true, IO here, because this grant permission comes back to the host and I want to include the host, yes or no, IO. And even I'm giving the meeting ID here, participant.meeting ID. As I'm giving the meeting ID, focus, otherwise it's gonna be crazy. Inform existing participant, inform others about new participants. Others are getting informed over here. Okay, you are giving the meeting ID over here. On the basis of that thing, others are going to be informed. But if you were using socket means in this room excluding me, send it to everybody when I was using socket. So as this is the host does not get notified, and that becomes the problem. So if I'm using IO over here, so including me, send it to everybody. Send it to everybody. That means the user who is trying to join, that user will be getting the same thing. By the way, I will be fixing it soon. But okay, I'm gonna be using IO over here, and when it comes to this one, inform new participant about others. So when I'm actually informing new participant about others, so IO.to. So clients, this is the host side. Host gets this grant join permission. And if I'm actually using IO in the connection ID, that simply means it will be working fine. I can even use socket here. It should be working, so it should not be problematic. Okay, let's check everything. Control stop. Of course, it's going to be stopped. Understanding how the events work, that plays the major role. Coming back to this is gonna be unstoppable. Okay, socket connection. As that was the host, nothing actually happened. Okay, and I will fix it very soon. The problem is that the value is actually undefined, and that is why I'm getting the participant over here. That's gonna be fixed. But Control C, Control V, enter, and that's actually gonna be Vipendra, enter, inspect console, and allow. Inform others about new participant. Inform new participant about others. This event is right, but this event is not right, because when I'm actually informing others at the time, any way around this meeting ID, because this request actually goes to the host, so others are getting informed at that time. The same user is getting informed. Okay, inform others about new participant. What am I actually getting here? So the new participant info, and whenever the new participant actually info comes here inside the signaling server, what do I do? New participants, I get the new participant and add a new participant. And whenever I add the new participant, first of all I even check whether that particular participant exists there or not. So first of all, of course, I'm checking. If that already exists, I do not set the value. So even this will be handled automatically, so I don't need to worry about it. This is not the best way. First of all, if I'm trying to join the meeting, I should not be getting that particular event. There is a way to fix that, but okay, let's go with this one for now. Okay, so this is fine. Coming back to this one, inform others about new participant. Even this participant is getting the, so the way I was using the event, that was wrong, and right now at both the places I'm getting this particular thing. Only one thing is missing right now. As this particular user joined, okay, Vipendra is the host. Are you crazy? Redux meeting, this current participant is host is actually false. Okay, both of them are Vipendra. That's problematic. Both of them are unstoppable. Okay, the naming convention problem. Okay, not a problem, I will be fixing this. But apart from this particular thing, I may still not have the state of the current participant here. This is null, and that's the problematic thing. Over here I do have that, but the host does not have its information. That is the first problem. Apart from this particular thing, this Vipendra is getting repeated twice, so I will have to fix this. So media container, inside that participant, current participant, so other participants, I'm getting the obviously this will happen. Okay, so I'll have to fix this. First of all, other participants, they still contain, they are gonna be containing the same user. Is there anything that I can do here? Why am I getting 2 unstoppable and 2 Vipendra? And let's go to the events here. Other participants, there's only one other unstoppable is here, right? So other participant is actually unstoppable, and when I actually loop through that, so why am I getting this Vipendra here? So how can I fix this? I'm worrying about the other participants here. This is the one. Other participant is actually unstoppable, and that is the host. And sorry, this is my bad. Participant dot name. So this way it's gonna be fine. Coming back to this, okay, one thing I have fixed. The another thing that is remaining, informing the current host. So in that case, what can I do? Whenever a host joins the meeting, coming back to this socket.ts, whenever a host joins the meeting, at that time I have to inform the host as well. So host himself should be informed that he has joined the meeting and all. Okay, that's fine, I can create that. But is there any other way? First of all, whenever I grant the join permission, at that time the problem is that whenever I'm informing the existing participants over here, inform others about new participants, I'm using the meeting ID. This is the socket of the host itself. So whenever I'm actually using io.to and then meeting, it will include the host. That is actually a good thing, but it is actually going to include the new participant as well. So this is going to be sent to the new participant too, and as it is sent to the new participant, that new participant is actually going to be the part of the other participant. That should not be happening, but that is actually happening right now. Let me even show what is the problem. So I will have to handle it my way, otherwise that's gonna be problematic. Coming back to this, reload the page, and I'll have to enter the name. That's gonna be Dipendra. I have entered the name. As this was the host, so inside my meeting I don't have the current participant because of course I could not set it, but there are no other participants as well. That's fine. But if the other users tries to join the same meeting, coming back to this one, I will have to, am I not all, okay, reload it. That's gonna be unstoppable, just like this. This time I'll actually have to allow, and as soon as I allow it, on the host side there is this other participant, that is fine. Current participant on the host side actually becomes unstoppable. Dipendra, unstoppable. One thing is clear, apart from this particular thing, unstoppable Dipendra is the host, right? Unstoppable becomes the current participant. In here, Dipendra is the host. Dipendra is the host. But when it comes to the current, this is happening mainly because events are triggering both sides. Okay, so instead of using meeting ID, room ID, I will have to just directly go ahead. I will have to send the messages, events directly. But when it comes to there was Dipendra initially, and Dipendra was the part of other participants. Let me do it again, it's confusing. Dipendra, add it. Coming back to this, no current user, no other participants. And great. Coming back to this one. Unstoppable. Request comes here. Still no current user, but as soon as there's nothing. As soon as I allow this, that means granting the permission. So what I got? New participant joined. Inform others about new participant. So others are getting informed. If I check the redux, somehow the value in the current participant is getting added. The value in the current participant. That should not be happening. So first of all, I need to fix this. And what is the event that's getting triggered? In this particular section, inform others about new participant. whenever I'm informing others about new participant, what am I doing? Signaling inform others about new participant. I'm adding the participant, but I'm never really setting the new participant. Adding the participant is okay when it comes to the adding participant. So set other participants and push, as simple as that. So other participants are added, and I'm only setting the current participant in this particular section. Whenever inform new participants, existing participants I get, this is never ever getting triggered. So inform others, okay. Coming back to this one, it got two events over here. First of all, it got inform others new participants. It should not be getting this one, and then inform new participant about others. So it should be getting this one, but it should not be getting the another one. Coming back to this one, redux state, and current user is unstoppable here, and other users is the Vipendra, and in this particular section current user is unstoppable and other user is actually gonna be meeting state Vipendra. So it's just happening the opposite way. Vipendra was the host, so Vipendra should become the current participant and stopper should become the host. This is mainly happening because of this, so let me fix that particular thing, and then later I will think whether I'm still getting the same error or not. This is the main problem or the root cause. IO.meeting participant, and this is sent to that particular user. So what will I be doing? Over here I will get other participants. Control X. I got the meeting participants dot push. I added that to the meeting participants. Const other participants is gonna be just like this. Ouch. Other participants. It's gonna be somewhat like this. And once I got the other, how am I getting that meeting participants filter? And if that's not equals to participants.connection ID, so if that's not equals to the current participants, in that case I will be getting it, and inform existing participants, or to be precise, inform other participants. And if I'm actually informing other participants, in that case I will be getting the IDs of them, and all the other participants should be informed. So other participants dot for each and participant, just like this, and same thing is gonna be repeated here. I need to use IO because I don't wanna exclude the host itself. So participant meeting ID, emit it, and once this is done, then it should be resolved. Okay, as I'm doing this, so this time, and one more thing, whenever the host joins, so let me even get this thing done. Host joined, socket dot will not do that. So IO dot, what does the socket dot emit do? Socket dot emit simply emits to that particular user, right? So socket dot emit includes that, and host connect, or connect host, and I will be sending the information of the host in the sense meeting host that I have, and that's simply gonna be new participant, and at the end I will be just simply disconnecting it from here. So once this is done, I will be going to the signaling server side and request join permissions now. Socket.on connect host, just like this. And when it comes to this, so CLG event connect host. Not only that, I just only wanna change one thing. Set dispatch, set current participant. I'm going to get the participant over here, so new participant, meeting participant, just like this. This value is actually going to be used here. New set current participant. Sorry, this should be somewhat like this. New participant, meeting participant, and new participant. The host should be added. npm random. Let me restart it. Close this. If I just try to reload the page, unstoppable, enter. Coming back to this one, meeting, where is the current user? I'm not able to set that. Set current user null, and if I skip it, then that goes away. That simply means I'm setting it the wrong way. I hope I haven't restarted it. Let's simply stop it. And new participant. So new participant is this one, and if the host does not exist, in that case meeting host. First of all, new participant is host. I'm already changing this once that is changed. Then connect host. This is not getting triggered. Is that so? Most probably yes. Why? I'm using socket. Socket is not working directly here or what? Let's check it. So whenever I use coming back to this, wow, connect host worked, but then some errors. Okay, this thing is I'm just sending the information of the new participant from here. This should be kind of okay. By the way, coming back to this, unstoppable, enter, event connect host, great, and check out the state. There is no current participant. Why? Signaling, connect host. I will be getting the data. I'm already destructuring that. It will contain the new participant, right? Okay, got it. What is the problem? I'll actually have to send an object from here. Once the object is sent right now, then it's gonna be working fine. Reload the page. Unstoppable, enter. Now this is the host. Welcome back to this coding world. So the first user actually becomes the host, and over here that is the host, and Control C, Control V, enter. Of course I'll have to reload it. This is actually gonna be Vipendra, enter. I'll have to allow from here. So coming back to this one, unstoppable is the host, Vipendra is did that. So that's amazing, yeah. So first is the host, unstoppable. So unstoppable is the host, Vipendra is participant over here, and same over here. Vipendra is the person, is the participant, and host is actually unstoppable. This is working fine, amazing job. We will be moving forward. Of course we will get the, now the only thing is remaining, as the, if I just try to, other users tries to join this, Control C, Control V, the same way I can go here, and of course I'll have to reload this so that I can, suppose what, VIP joins, and when VIP joins I'm gonna be coming back here. I can allow it, and right now I have 3 users. Host is unstoppable, Vipendra is participant, VIP is the participant. Same here, Vipendra is participant, host is unstoppable, VIP is participant. Coming back to this, VIP is the participant, host unstoppable, and this, it keeps going. Last thing, what is the last thing? Get the WebRTC connection established. Once the WebRTC connection is, by the way, all of them can actually turn their own video on. So here I am here, and coming back to this one, Vipendra can turn the video on, so just like this, and similarly VIP can turn the video on, so they can turn their own videos on respectively. But now if I want to have a look at the other participants video over here, so I need to get a WebRTC connection established. Once that connection is established, I will start getting the tracks, and once I'm actually getting the tracks, after that, that's it, the job is done. So this is how we will be going ahead. As for right now, I mean, this should be more than enough. It's already 9:28, so I'll be just simply calling it right now. I have to have food right now, and then I'm gonna be learning something else or the other, but it's pretty fun working with this as well. The goal is gonna be giving 5 hours to one project, like this one at least, and in the remaining time I will spend time learning something or the other. Okay, so this is how the things are gonna be going on. Thanks a lot for being here with me. Now I'm gonna be catching up